We've been making some great gains on SoFi stock, and this is one of my favorite stocks on this channel. But we have news that ARK ETF has just purchased SoFi stock. We'll take a look at that purchase as well as the valuation of SoFi. SoFi is now up to $18.12 a share. It's up 181% in the past year. But if we take a look at this transaction log, ARK ETF bought SoFi on June 27th. They purchased $34 million worth, and it represents 0.5% of their ETF. If we look at the stock price on June 27th, it was around between $17 and $18 a share. So pretty expensive position to start on SoFi. They had been selling SoFi back in November of 2024, February 2025, and March of 2025. If we take a look at the stock price during that time, back in March, it was around $12 a share. February, it was around $14 a share. And in November of 2024, it was hovering around between $14 and $15 a share. So they're following the good mantra like we all do, which is buy high and then sell low, right? So Cathie Wood, not the best stock trader, but it's good to see that she purchased SoFi stock. I will obviously appreciate that since I own SoFi stock. But if we take a look at the growth of SoFi, they had some great earnings in their last earnings report. They had 33% year-over-year revenue growth, as well as adjusted EBITDA. They had a 27% margin, $210 million of adjusted EBITDA in their last earnings. In their 2025 guidance, they upgraded that as well. As far as adjusted net income, $71 million, which was a 9% margin for Q1 2025. So really good stuff coming from SoFi. They also upgraded their 2025 guidance. I just want to show you that as well because it's very important. This company is projecting larger growth in 2025, and you can see they improved their guidance. You have on the right here, prior fiscal year 2025 guidance. They're now expecting revenue of 24 to 27% growth compared to 23 to 26% growth from the original guidance. But $320 million in net income, and on the high end, $330 million in net income, and they were projecting $285 million and $305 million. So really good stuff. Also, diluted earnings per share, you're looking at 27 cents to 28 cents earnings per share for 2025 compared to 2024, which was 15 cents earnings per share. So the company is having really good growth in revenue as well as profitability. But if we take a look at this valuation, SoFi is becoming a lot more expensive. It's now trading at a 41.5 PE and a forward PE of 63. I don't think that forward PE is very accurate, so we'll put asterisks next to that. But currently a 41.5 PE, which is very high. The sector median is 13.5. So SoFi is becoming a lot more expensive, but we'll compare SoFi to Robinhood since they are both in the fintech industry. SoFi is not just a bank. They also offer investment products. So price to book, you're looking at 2.92. Price to sales, 5.95. Forward 6.87 for the 12 trailing months. If we look at Robinhood has a PE of about 53 as well as a forward PE of 72. So SoFi is actually cheaper than Robinhood on a PE basis, as well as price to sales. Robinhood has a price to sales of 25. SoFi has a price to sales of 6.87. Robinhood has a price to book 12 trailing months of 10.27. SoFi's is 2.92. So SoFi actually has much better metrics than Robinhood does in terms of valuation. Of course, there are two very different stocks with different products, but SoFi has more products to offer, it being a bank, as well as it's in that fintech industry with investment products as well. And they are expanding into Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies, I should say. If we look at these earnings reports, they've announced their next earnings report is going to be July 29th. They're expecting 6 cents earnings per share and around $802 million revenue estimate, which is what Wall Street is expecting. Of course, we've had some earnings revisions for SoFi. It says here EPS revisions last 90 days, 6 up and 1 down. So the estimates have increased for SoFi's earnings coming up with this next earnings report. Their latest quarter, they of course had a double beat earnings per share by 3 cents, and they beat revenue expectations by 32 million. So SoFi is having a lot of growth right now, and they could get helped a lot if the Fed is able to cut rates. That could be very helpful for SoFi. Of course, they're in the lending industry, and that could bring a lot more people into the market for mortgages or for taking out loans. And I just wanted to mention, I do own SoFi stock. I own Let's see here. I own $7,400 worth of SoFi stock. I'm currently up 32%, and I have an average position of $13.75. I'm a big fan of SoFi stock. I've been following this stock for a while now on this channel, and I will keep you updated in this next earnings report. But really interesting stuff that ARK Investment is buying SoFi. If you got value from the video, consider subscribing. Y'all have a good one.